Why, hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Chatting with Doug, where Doug is chatting with us. What you look so
Trying to
concerned, Doug.
adjust. I just looked a little blurry, trying to adjust the lighting and
You
stuff.
you look great, Doug. You look
Okay,
great. You don't even look
good.
like the poor sullen Victorian boy that you appear to be now.
Thank you, so kind. You look great. Everybody
Great.
over there, you look great.
Thanks. But yes, hello, welcome. Thank you so much for this level 3 hype train. We really
Chugga
appreciate
chugga chugga
that.
chugga
Thank you,
chugga chugga
thank
chugga
you,
chugga.
thank you. Let's get to these rules so that we can talk a little, or get to answering your questions. I shouldn't say get to. We'll get to that. We will. It'll happen. Okay. All right. Sorry. Words hard. Yes. Hi. First and foremost, we give priority to the bit messages since that is some real world money spent. Towards the end of stream, sometimes we do have time for highlighted questions, but please save your highlighting for the end of stream because if you highlight it now, I cannot scroll back up and take a look at it. Also, highlighting a question does not guarantee that we're going to see it or read it. Generally, that happens around like the 15-minute mark of stream, but you just got to kind of pay attention to when we're done with the bit messages. Please do not repeat yourself over and over again in chat. You can get timed out or even banned if you're going to continuously do it. That kind of, but not totally applies to the bit messages as well. We do get behind. We do have a list. It is very rare that we actually miss a bit question. So there's no need to repeat it. We've got a list. We can just be about 45 minutes, sometimes up to an hour behind. So thank you for your patience with that. Please, no spoilers. Not everyone has had a chance to watch like the latest episode of Ahsoka or anything
I haven't,
like that.
by the way.
Oh,
Yeah.
you
So,
haven't? Okay.
yeah, there
Doug
won't be
has
able to
not.
answer questions about it either.
There you go. Doug has not. I have. Doug has not. So
Oh,
no
okay.
spoilers on things like that. Although I think both The Flash and Spider-Verse are out on DVD, Blu-ray, digital, whatever now. So we can talk about those things. I feel like anyone who's want to see it has, okay?
Or
Please
has
watch
not.
please watch the length of your questions. The longer it is, the faster I have to read it, the more likely it is we're going to lose the point, and I do not have time to reread it. So short and to the point is better. Maybe check to see if someone else has asked the question that you've asked. You're not going to be in trouble for that or anything. It's just that we feel bad if you're like the fourth person to ask if Doug has watched the live action One Piece yet. You're going to have to get the same answer, and we feel bad that you've spent your 100 bits for us to just say, we've already answered that. Here's the table scraps. Moving on. Okay. I think that's
Keep them short.
I said that.
You did. God damn it. Well,
I did.
you know what? I was sick. I had brain fog, which is probably a good thing to bring up. If some of my answers seem more flaky than usual, that will be why. I still have, I just went and got tested. I still have like the shingles virus. Apparently, I have it big time still in
No.
me, but I don't have any nerve damage or pain or the bumps or anything like that. It's only the fatigue and a little bit of brain fog. So if I seem flakier than usual, that's why. But I
Yes.
will still. But I'm feeling pretty good today.
Yes. He's pushing through it. He's rested what he needs to rest. As you see, okay? So thank you, chat, for not being obnoxious when Doug has needed to cancel streams. I know sometimes people tend to be like, what do you mean he canceled? But thank you for your understanding as Doug works through the shingles. Author, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey, Doug and Heather, how y'all doing?
Good. I mean, I'm sick, but aside from that.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. Hello, Dewey Herman. Hello, Heather. How you guys doing?
Okay.
That was good. Trill, I never say this right. I'm sorry. Trill Bill. There it is. Thank you for the 100 bits. Hey, Doug and Heather. Hope you're doing well. I was wondering if you have any plans of doing more Kingdom Hearts for Disney December, specifically Dream Drop Distance, as I think you'll find it really fun.
Maybe. I think the next one after God of War is probably going to be Spider-Man 2. I really want to play that. And then, I mean, clearly when Kingdom Hearts 4 comes out, we'll do that. But again, what is that? 5 years from now? I mean, who the hell knows? So I'm definitely not going to say no, but we'll see. We'll see what makes sense to do down the line.
Kermit Wazowski, thank you for the 46-month subscription.
Thank you.
Welcome back. Appreciate that. Excellent tribute. Oops, sorry. Something just popped up on my screen. There it is. Excellent tribute to Pee Wee slash Paul Rubens. I'd never heard of the movies until later in life, but I have fond memories of watching Playhouse reruns first thing in the morning before school.
Yeah, that's how I was introduced to him as well. I saw the show, and then when I found out there were movies, I was like, "What?" I think no, actually, that's not true. I saw Big Top Pee Wee in the theater, and even at like whatever 7 years old, I was pretty disappointed. It's not that good a movie. The first one's great though.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. I recently rewatched the Ed Helms Vacation reboot and actually enjoyed it okay. It's nowhere near as good as the original and the ending is underwhelming, but it still has plenty of laughs throughout. Might be worth watching if you just want to complete the series.
Do I though? Do I want to complete it that bad? I heard it's bad, but I will say this: I have heard one or two people defend it a bit, kind of in the way that you did, where it's like it's not that bad. There's some things that work in it, and I'm sure they're right. But I hear the bad stuff. It is really bad. So yeah, I like the movies as they are. I'll probably leave it there, but yeah, not actively seeking it out.
Dev the Wiser, thank you for the 100 bits. What are your thoughts on the Rush Hour movies?
Oh, I like them. I remember the reviews were really weird because everybody, all the critics liked the first one, and then they hated the other two, which I thought was weird because the arguments were, well, Chris Tucker is just so loud and obnoxious and everything. I'm like, but that you saw the first one, right? You saw like all the criticisms against it were in the first film as well, so I thought that was really strange. And probably the third one's the weakest, but I still had a good time. So yeah, I remember liking him.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. How would you compare European Vacation with Vegas Vacation? Personally, I slightly prefer Vegas for Cousin Eddie and its version of Rusty and Audrey.
Yeah, I don't know. They're about on the same level. Maybe I like Europe a little bit more because I just associate that with like the original three films and everything, but they're about on the same footing.
I know, guys. Thank you for the 100 bits. Hey, Doug, do you think you'll watch the Blue Beetle anytime soon if you haven't already? Also, have you checked out live action One Piece show? I saw it, and as someone who wasn't a fan of the anime, I genuinely enjoyed this adaptation.
That's what I'm hearing. Well, and I'm hearing people that have not seen the anime are liking it, which is good because I haven't seen the anime, so I might check it out. And I will see Blue Beetle. I don't know when. It's going to be a minute, but I'm hearing good things about it. People seem to like it. So yeah, I'm excited to check it out.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, the 1997 Borrowers movie is the most nostalgic film I can remember, and as a fan of your reviews, you doing an NC of it would make it come full circle for me.
I have it on the list. I don't know when slash kind of if I'll get around to it. It's always one of those where I'm like, okay, does this just have like a handful of passionate people that like talking about it, or is it really going to be like people are going to like tune into it? Because I like to do half and half. I like to do something that I want to talk about and then something that people want me to talk about. So I do have it on the list. I don't know when I'll get around to it. I haven't seen it, which I probably should. A lot of people say it is a good movie. So at the very least, I should see it just to see it.
Lou says, boo, thank you for the 100 bits. Hi, Doug and Heather. Question for you both. What movie do you think strongly disagrees what movie do you both strongly disagree with each other on? There it is. I know you both disagree on the live action Aladdin remake, but can you think of another movie? I unironically love Moulin Rouge.
I was going to say Moulin Rouge. That's probably the one. Yeah, I never got into that, but we make up for it by both really enjoying The Greatest Showman.
Oh,
and I
perfection.
think for the same reasons. I think we both get a good laugh out of it, but just love the entertainment value of it.
Yeah. Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen the Christopher Guest film A Mighty Wind? And if so, what are your thoughts?
Oh, I love it. Oh my God. And most of his films are really great. That one I really love for Eugene Levy in that. That weird voice he has is so great. And then that weird kind of romance he has with Catherine O'Hara is wonderful. The songs are legit really good. I'm not even like a folks song guy, but yeah, it's a really, really good one. That's among one of my favorites of that guy's films.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. What would you say is the best season of BoJack Horseman?
Man, I don't know. Probably not the first one because the first one has that really choppy start.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like as they go along, they kind of get better and better. So either the last one or the second to last one, I really really like the most. But I mean, they're all pretty good.
Alex the Animator, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey there, Doug. I just saw your NC review of the Pee Wee movies and noticed you brought up the fact that Dottie is played by the voice actress who voiced Buttercup in the Powerpuff Girls. Did you know that she also voiced Tommy Pickles in Rugrats? Still wish that you'd made some Powerpuff Girls jokes in your NC review of the Rugrats movie last year, especially since Tommy's little brother Dill is voiced by the same actress who voiced the Powerpuff Girl Bubbles.
Whew! That's a mouthful. Yeah, I do make a Tommy Pickles joke later in the review. So, haha, watch it again. It is in there. Well, in the Pee Wee movies, anyway.
Yeah, that's why they brought it up because
Yeah.
you mentioned it in the Pee Wee one.
Oh, gotcha.
And they were
gotcha,
saying,
okay.
yeah.
Gotcha. Well, that was my way of making it up to you. That's the best I can do. I'm sorry it's not enough, but it's the most I can do. I'm sorry.
That Disney nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. Hypothetical situation. Doug, you get a call tomorrow from Sony. They explain how they want you to be the writer for Beyond the Spider-Verse. How would you wrap up Miles' story with everything that they've established so far?
Man, I don't know. Because I feel like I know the direction it is going to go, and that is that they're, I guess not to go into spoilers, they haven't seen the second one, but that they are not going to follow through with the canon event, that they're going to find some way around it. That's what everything in the second film is indicating. But in terms of how they're going to do it, and what way they're going to do it, that's going to like equal the epicness of the other two movies. That's what I'm curious about. And I think having it tied in then to the other Miles in this, I'm really hoping they play into how much can change by just that, one little difference there, and how like, because I don't know, that's such a creepy idea that like you can just be a totally different person, like even a bad person, by just one little thing in your life, like a tiny thing in your life being altered. And so much of it is about choice and everything. So I feel like if they really tie a lot into that, I really think they can have a very, very powerful part 3.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. A nostalgia ween for the movie Misery with Hyper Fangirl.
I don't know what I would add. It's kind of I think the only thing I would maybe add is that I think some people sometimes when they see the film don't pick up it's supposed to be funny. I think people, because I've heard some people definitely say, man, when I saw the movie when I was younger, I was so afraid. And now I look at it, I'm like, she's so silly and zany and everything. It's like, I think that's the point, though. I think it's supposed to be really over the top and zany, while also being like creepy and scary and all that. So, outside of that, I don't know what I would really add. I feel like the rest kind of just speaks for itself.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, I have an idea for old versus new. The Fly, 1958 versus 1986.
I've gotten that one a lot. A lot of people have asked for that. I haven't done that many old versus news in a while. They're requiring a little more work than I got energy, especially right now. But I love the remake, and I hate to say it, I don't think I've seen the original. I've seen clips of it, but I haven't seen the original. Maybe I'll check it out this October for Halloween. That'll probably be a good one to check out.
CM Sully, thank you for the 100 bits. So, Doug and Heather, and Rob, if he's here too. No, he's not. I'm sorry.
Right.
How ready are you for Halloween? I'm not ready at all. I have so many other things happening before Halloween. Halloween? What's that? I don't know. I don't know her.
I'm pretty excited. I already have a feeling I know what I'm gonna go as. I might just go as I'm thinking about just going as Bubble Bass dressed as the NC. I think that's pretty funny.
Yes.
Just get like a fish mask and then wear the NC outfit. I think that's pretty funny.
That's really funny. You should definitely do that on stream.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Aside from that, I do all the typical Halloweenish stuff. I go see scary movies. I get my pumpkin spice lattes. I haven't tried any of the Count Chocula cereals yet because September's just too early, man. He at least to be October 1st. I do all that, kitschy but wonderful stuff.
Alex the Animator, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, have you ever seen the animated reality series Total Drama, and any thoughts on it?
I know, like, if you show me a picture of it, I would know what it. They're kind of square-looking people, and they kind of look like what the hell is it called? Clone High a little bit, but I haven't seen the show. No, I haven't
Neither
actually
have I.
outside of the look of it. I actually don't know anything about it. So yeah, I am unable to talk anymore about how it looks, and it looks very squarey.
Orlando Garcia, thank you for the 38-month subscription.
Thank
Welcome
you.
back. Appreciate that. Me, I just found out I've subscribed for 38 months. Randall from Clerks. In a row?
In a row.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. NC for the Bob's Burgers movie.
I did Disney December. I think I summed up my thoughts pretty well there. I don't know. I don't think I could add more as the NC, but the Disney December sums it all up pretty well.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the movie Barton Fink?
I like it. It is one of those where, and it's so rare that I see a movie where if you were to be like, what's it about? Like, I just have no theories whatsoever, but I kind of like that. I've never seen a movie that was so straightforward and then halfway just did a complete turnaround and just went like a totally different direction. And then in the last third also kind of goes abstract and stuff like that. So that was like my first introduction to that. So that was really neat to see. Usually when I see a movie, it'll be like Eraserhead, where from the beginning it's abstract and weird and stuff. But that's the first time where I saw a film. It was just a very straightforward story, and then suddenly, boom, a complete direction change. Which now I've seen other movies that do that, but at the time, that was the first one.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on Ben 10?
I've never seen it. I know what the idea is. The idea sounds really cool, but I've never seen the show. I hear it's good, but yeah, finding time to watch it is tricky. So yeah, maybe at one point, maybe I might retire or something like that. I'll give it a watch.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Ever been to a Renaissance fair?
Yeah, once I think.
Oh my gosh, I love Ren Fair.
I get it. I get why people go there. I get why it's fun and stuff. And I'm glad I went. I had a really good time and everything. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I can go one more time. It's not
So
something
fun.
like I'm eager to go back to, but it was something I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. This is kind of neat. And all the cool thing, like the people, can do the cool tricks, like the whatever, blowing fire and doing the whip tricks and stuff like that. Like all that's really cool. Yeah, no, it's a good time. If you haven't gone, it's worth checking out.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, would you please make an NC for the Spiderwick Chronicles movie since they're making a show for it? It's been canceled or they took it out. They're never putting it on Disney Plus, by the way, just so you know, Noah. It's still happening. It just won't be under Disney because of cost cutting. Oh, is it still happening? I heard Disney is not putting it on a service. Are they selling it to somewhere else?
Could be.
I didn't hear that. I'm totally okay being wrong.
I haven't seen the movie, but I do have it on the list because I feel
Nice.
like that's one that probably has a following. I don't know. I just remember the trailers for it, and I was like, even though I never saw the film, I'm like, this looks just weird enough that kids would watch it and then talk about years later. You know what I mean? Like, remember that weird movie? So
Yeah.
I'll probably review it at some point.
Yeah, now I feel like I gotta go look up what's happening with the series too, because last I heard, Disney was just cutting it. It was just done. They were gonna Batgirl it.
Is the movie any good? Have you seen the movie?
I haven't, no.
Okay.
I haven't.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the books. I'm assuming they're books. But yeah, so I'll check it out at some point.
Smash Ultra, thank you for the 100 bits. What does Disney, Final Fantasy, and Power Rangers all have in common? They have multiple news stories that never end, they have comic reliefs, and they have powerful villains that were defeated for embarrassing reasons.
I think they all might have Disney characters too. Weirdly. Yeah, no, it makes sense.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey Doug, I just have to know, if it ever comes down to the two of them, is it Christopher Walken or Nicolas Cage?
Don't make me choose. It's like good son. I'm holding on to both of them over a ledge. Man, I don't know. I'll have the soup.
Great. Dev the Wiser, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen The Danish Girl 2015? And if so, what are your thoughts?
I don't think so. That's the what's his name from Stephen Hawking. Yeah, okay. That's the movie. Yeah. I have not seen it. No. I think I heard it's good. But I have not checked it out. I will try to do so.
Haunted Joker, thank you for the 100 bits. In Spider Man 2, you said the astronaut guy is kind of useless. It helps if you think of his presence as pushing MJ and Peter to examine how they feel about each other. His wedding to MJ adds a ticking clock element.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's only that. Like, he's not a character. You know what I mean? There's a scene in Spectacular Spider-Man where I swear they are mocking that line because you got John Jameson. He says, just like, get everything ready. My son is coming here. He just came from space and he worked years to get in the NASA program and he's finally coming back. And, I'm just so proud of him. And I know he's kind of a shy guy, but he's really bloomed into his own. And I'm so excited for my son, the astronaut. And I'm like, they gave him this full character before they said the line, my son, the astronaut. I'm like, they must have did that on purpose. And they do make him like a full fleshed out character later. They really, really have fun with him. So, yeah, like if you want to see more of what I'm looking for with that character, watch Spectacular Spider-Man. That more dove into that.
Alex the Animator, thank you for the 100 bits. Since Nostalgiaween is next month, can I give you any can you give any hints on what is this year's intro will be like and some of the movies you'll talk about this year?
It is, we haven't filmed it yet, so I guess I can say what we're looking at doing. We're looking at doing, a send up to one of the Halloween movies. So you'll have to see, which actually, the more I think about it, we kind of have done, but this one's a little different. You'll see when we do it. And we're definitely doing a lot of, kind of stop motion-y animated movies in there. We're getting a few of those in there. Definitely a lot of movies I've talked about in the past on Nostalgiaween, but haven't flat out reviewed, which I think will be fun to do.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 100 bits. If I can offer a critique on Ahsoka so far, I'm liking it, but this feels like a Rebels 2.0 instead of an Ahsoka-centered show. We all like Hera and the others, but the focus, I feel, isn't on the title character. Once again, these Star Wars shows about a character getting hijacked by other characters from other stories. What do you think?
Well, I keep in mind, I've not seen the latest one, but in a weird way, that would almost feel appropriate because I kind of feel like that's almost what happened with Rebels, like Clone Wars kind of came in and took it over, but I was okay with that because I kind of liked those characters interacting with each other. Now, I don't know. I mean, so far it seems okay, but I haven't seen the latest one, so maybe I'll see the latest one and be like, oh man. But you are right with like Boba Fett being taken over by Mandalorian and stuff like that. Like that is kind of a constant theme in many of these shows.
Yeah, but I feel like Ahsoka's a little bit different than that because it still is more related. Like Ahsoka's at least traveling with like Sabine and stuff. Like,
Yeah,
like,
well, and she has a connection to them. Like, did Boba Fett even have that much of a connection to Mandalorian? Like, it literally
Not
just cut
really.
to Mandalorian doing his own thing
Right.
for like 2 episodes. Yeah.
Right. So I feel like it's still a little bit more interconnected than Book of Boba Fett ever was with Din Djarin stuff, but that's just me. FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Honest thoughts on Dane Cook. Not looking for another Dane Cook trash fest.
I'll be honest. Dinko, we're talking about the stand-up.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was okay. I'd be lying if I said I understood like the stadiums dedicated to him, but and I don't know. I heard some stuff about like stealing jokes and stuff, but like, I guess like he had a good sense of humor about it, and the people that he supposedly stole from, like they did crossovers and stuff. It was all okay. And I don't know. I feel like I've seen comedians where, like Carlos Mencia stuff, like you can point to the joke. There's the joke. There's word for word. And what I saw, they just sounded kind of similar. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe I haven't seen the proper one. But I don't know. When I saw him, he got a laugh out of me. I'm definitely not going to act like he was God's gift to comedy or anything, but I thought it was all right. I thought the hate was a little overblown. But yeah, but again, that's me watching from a distance. I wasn't a diehard fan. I didn't like follow him around either, but I don't know. I got laughs out of him.
Job Kazobi, thank you for the 100 bits. Do you watch any reality TV shows?
Let me think. Usually no, but I can name ones I did watch. I did watch Hell's Kitchen, much to my shame. But I think a lot of that is for Ramsey and the fact that it's a game show. They treat it more like a game show. So I'm a little bit more okay with that. Stuff like Pawn Stars, where they're trying to like, no, this is really happening, guys. And it's so clearly scripted. That annoys me. But I like the stuff they bring in. We just started a show and then we stopped because it was the same thing. It was called Oddities. And it was like Pawn Stars, but with like a creepy store where they have like all sorts of creepy, you know, like odd stuff. You know, like one of them was like a mummified cat, like a real mummified cat, like stuff
Yeah.
like that they would sell. And like, man, this stuff is cool. But then just these obvious actors would come in. One of them talks like this, and we're like, "Are you kidding me?" And it's so painful. So we stopped after a while, but we were like, "Man, if they just really did it like what it's like to run this store, that'd be really interesting." I don't know why they had to do the scripted stuff.
That Disney nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. So I think we all know that the Ghost Rider movies aren't very good, but imagine if those movies were given to a horror director like Wes Craven or James Wan.
One I could see doing something because you saw him work well with horror, but also with action, with like Aquaman and stuff like that. I could see that working. I feel like Wes Craven's tried something like that before, and it didn't usually go that great. Yeah, you never know. It's a shame because the visual of Ghost Rider is so cool, and I like to see him get a good movie. And this is someone that doesn't even know much about the character, but I just love the layout of that character, the flaming skull and the biker and everything. Nicolas Cage playing him, come on.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, it's I like to see a good movie dedicated to him.
Cypher, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, buddy, I'm worried about you. Hope the shingles are finally clearing up. Take care.
I mean, the good news is again, there's no pain. No pain whatsoever. So that's really nice. There's no rash or bumps or anything like that anymore. That's great. It's really just the fatigue. And again, I hate saying that because it always sounds so embarrassing, but like it really can kick the shit out of you and just put you in a brain fog. And like even when I'm sick, I try to get work done, like watching something for Disney December. And yeah, that's really the only thing. And I did get a stomach bug earlier this week, just add on top of thing, but that thing's gone. That only lasted a day. So yeah, and apparently it can go anywhere from like weeks to months. So I'm just like, you know, hopefully it goes away sooner than later. But yeah, whenever I have energy, whenever I'm, you know, capable of doing stuff, you know, it's like I'll do it. I hate not working. I hate not having the energy. So yeah, anytime I can sneak in, you know, a bit of work, I do.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. What is more interesting, a comedic actor in serious role or serious actors in a comedic role, and why?
They're both interesting. You know, James Lipton had a good, maybe it wasn't even his quote, but he said it a lot. He said, you can fake being serious, you can't fake being funny. So
Mm-hmm.
I think because of that, I like when a dramatic actor does comedy. I had a girlfriend who she used to say her favorite performance of Robert De Niro was Rupert Pupkin from The King of Comedy, because she was like, well, yeah, with, you know, Taxi Driver and Raging Bull, I mean, those are good, but I'm expecting that knowing he can be that funny and still that complex and interesting is just so amazing to me. And just he still brought like layers to this character that's clearly just a goofball character. You know, now he's done a ton of comedies, but I mean, usually not ones as complex as that. The movie Joker had a lot taken from that movie, King of Comedy. If you haven't seen it, it's a Scorsese movie. It's very, very funny.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Idea for top 11 list. Top 11 series performers from series performances from comedic actors.
I feel like that's been done. And again, it's one of those where it's like, man, what would even like the time span be? Because that's been done more often than not, honestly. It's a very common thing. But I don't know. If I can think of like some unique ones that maybe aren't talked about much, maybe I will. But I feel like most of them are going to be, you know, like Tom Hanks, Jim Carrey, Robert Williams, all them. You know, they're usually going to be on there.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, for the next Nostalgiaween intro, you should have Heather, Tamara, and Ayana do their version of the Hex Girls Spell on You song, and Heather has to be the lead singer because duh, and or hello.
Well, you'll just have to wait and see. Probably not, but you'll have to wait and see. It is a good idea. It's a good idea.
That'd be fun. Orlando Garcia, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, Heather, do you guys have any favorite Mexican/Spanish films, songs, comedies, etc.?
I'm sure I do, but this might be my brain fog. I'm just thinking of nothing right now out of all of that. Was food included in there or no?
I just said film, songs, comedies.
Film, songs, or comedies. Oh man.
I have recently been playing a lot of Samba de Amigo, the new one, because Samba de Amigo on Dreamcast was one of my favorite games on the Dreamcast, which if you don't know what Samba de Amigo is, it's a rhythm game. It's great with the Joy-Cons because you're like you like shake maracas. Anyway, I cannot get the Cup of Life out of my head. That's a great song.
Okay, here's I had to look it up. Pan's Labyrinth, great. Roma's very good.
Oh, that's true. Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah. Did Is Icho Mama Bien I'm pretty sure it's a Mexican film. Oh, it is. Yeah. Okay, that's here. That's a very good film. I guess well, kind of counts. Book of Life is technically, I think, a Mexican movie. Well, I mean, okay, it was released here, but yeah, obviously a lot of Mexican influence. Yeah, all right, that should be pretty good for my current brain fogness. Yeah, it's about the best I can come up with.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Ooh, one must go. Spare ribs, fried rice, or egg rolls. For me, it's spare ribs, easy, but I'm not a big fan of ribs.
I almost said spare ribs, but the more I think about egg rolls, always that's another one of those where they are good, but they always look better than they taste. Every time I try it, I'm like, that is good, but it still is not. If you were to give me a meal, it's like, okay, fried rice and egg rolls, or like fried rice and spare ribs. I go with the spare ribs.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, I just finished watching the first season of the Netflix live-action adaptation of One Piece, and it's so worth the watch. For someone who wanted to watch the anime but could never catch up, it's just right.
Okay, yeah, I'm hearing good things about it. Yeah, so I'll probably catch up on that soon.
Dev the Wiser, thank you for the 100 bits, and I'm not sure if this is a repeat or just a coincidence. Have you seen The Danish Girl 2015? And if so, what are your thoughts?
I have not. I will try to check it out.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. What are your thoughts on the most recent episode of Harley Quinn, where Bane, have you seen it?
Yeah, I have.
Bane travels to Italy. Hilarious. Yeah. That is the payoff for that joke that I have been waiting for.
You know who did the voice of that lady, the Macaroni, whatever?
No.
Janine Garofalo.
Oh, really?
Isn't that bizarre?
Yeah.
Like, it's so weird because, like, she'll do these whenever she does voiceover, it's never, like, just her voice. You know what I mean? Like, she'll do, like, a character, an accent or something. And I never recognize her. You know, like, she's what's her name from Ratatouille as well. And she's, like, just good enough at accents that, like, I buy it enough. It can sound kind of funny. She still has the comedic timing down, and I never recognize her. So yeah, when I read that, I was just like, what? So yeah, that got a good laugh out of me.
Job Kazobi, thank you for the 100 bits. Do you watch Jack Vale on YouTube? His farting in public videos are hilarious. That's not my usual YouTube content.
I was gonna say, not usually mine. Although, have I seen that? I want to say like the early days of YouTube, I saw something like that. I don't know, but it's probably a lot of videos like that. I don't think so. Yeah, and no slam against them or anything. I usually don't get into that many prank videos. There has to be like a real creativity around them that I would get into. Like I like the ones. There was one where like you know, a kid's carrying like these heavy buckets and like they'll switch it around to have like a grown-up help and they weigh the same and the kid's carrying the light. Well, like little innocent ones like that I think are kind of fun. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. They have to do something like a little creative. Just usually the farting in public ones don't do much for me.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. I've started watching Parks and Rec and I'm in the middle/near end of season 2. I like it, but I feel so bad for Jerry. Why, that guy's the worst. No, I'm just kidding.
Jerry, we all know what Jerry did, man. We all know. Fuck Jerry. No. Yeah, it's great. And that's another one of those shows where I'm so glad because I think my wife started watching it and I just did not get into the first few episodes. I went to it, but I'm so glad she kept going because man, that show got so crazy funny. I mean, I'm just saying, it only gets better from that point on.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. What is your favorite movie to watch with your wife on date night?
Man, favorite movie? I'm trying to think of like one that we rewatch. There's not many that we rewatch.
Yeah, we don't really rewatch movies.
But you know, the ones that I guess we do, the only two I can think of, there's such weird random movies. We do watch Big Lebowski a couple times, and then we'll watch Beetlejuice a couple times.
Well,
like I don't know why. Because we do like kind of the creepy, weird movies, and weird comedies and stuff. But yeah, for some reason, Beetlejuice is the one we go back to. And I like watching this movie too. It's interesting that she does. Eyes Wide Shut. We've watched a couple times.
Oh,
Not the most romantic movie
no.
to watch, but yeah. But she's a therapist, so we like to talk about like the psychological implications of it and stuff. So all that's pretty fun.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 100 bits. I'm going to get hate for this, and I get it from but from what I saw from Netflix One Piece, there's something about the actor playing Luffy that's not quite clicking for me. The performance isn't working in my mind. It feels like he's cosplaying him instead of being him. It's like the joke you made of being Deadpool cosplayers in your review. Did you ever have that feeling?
Yeah. And with One Piece, no, because I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
But I've seen that. But I mean, sadly, with that, maybe it's not so much the acting as much as kind of the directing and the overall feel and the environment that Cowboy Bebop remake, the show, that felt like the entire show was cosplaying as those characters. And that's not even a slam against the actor. I think most of the actors actually did a good job. Like I thought they brought kind of a nice freshness to it, but yeah, it was awkward. And I feel bad saying that because you can tell there was so much love put into that show, and they did understand it. I just don't think they knew how to translate that to screen. But that whole production kind of felt like a cosplay. It felt like a fan film, like a very expensive fan film.
Yeah. Blake the Nothing, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, what is one serious opinion that you've given on a movie that you've received the most backlash for? And did it change how you viewed the movie?
Serious? I mean, there's been some out there. Dark Knight Rises, I remember some people got. I'm going by vlog reviews now. You ever talk about serious reviews, like no jokes involved and stuff like that? Dark Knight Rises was one, but not. I guess not as bad as other critics. I guess some critics got like death threats and stuff. Man of Steel, I don't remember getting a ton from, but I got a little bit. And then the first Sonic movie. I think a lot of people were just like, "What the fuck?" when I said that, and. But that one, I can see a little bit why more and more people like that one. I do like the second one quite a bit. And then recently, like, I don't know, the backlash hasn't been that bad, but Guardians 3, I think people were kind of like, what? When I didn't like that movie.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. By the way, Heather, I'm sorry, but also not sorry for all the mini heart attacks I caused you earlier. You should not be sorry. They were hilarious, and I'm so glad someone finally used that extension on my personal stream. I can't wait for more. Orlando Garcia, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, do you have any favorite Deke cartoons? I assume Sonic SatAM. Also, have you considered making a video about Deke cartoons? Isn't that Deke? D-I-C?
It is.
Isn't that what they always said?
Yeah. But we always said Dick.
Oh, did you?
Of course we did. Yeah, anytime that little logo popped up when we were kids, we would Dick. Fun. Deke cartoons. I think it's the first I actually called it Deke. I always just called it Dick. It's so funny.
I love your face. Like, what?
Okay. Yeah, a lot actually. Real Ghostbusters, Inspector Gadget, is that? Oh, Sonic SatAM. Yeah, I have a soft spot for Heathcliff. I'm not gonna say it's that good, but I like it. Yeah, those are pretty good. Those showed up.
Haunted Joker, thank you for the 100 bits. I'm going to go to the store to get stamps, unless you can think of a reason not to.
I'm off the clock, so now. Stamps.com! Oh my god, Stamps.com! What?
DJ Lol5, thank you for the 100 bits. Hi, Doug. Just a week before Batman Mask of the Phantasm comes out in 4K. I might give it a watch since a lot of people regard it as being the best Batman movie ever. You should, absolutely. Would recommend.
Have you guys seen it? Yeah, definitely. You know, and we should make it clear that when we say like the best ever, I mean very much like it is everything encompassing what Batman is, you know, including like the dark, heavy weight and stuff like that. But in terms of like, is it going to change your life or anything like that? I don't think it's going to do that. But I mean, like, when you think of like just what Batman is in terms of the comic, the cartoon, just everything over the years, like that's at least what I think of.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. Are you at all looking forward to the new Spy Kids film?
That's another one. I did not know that. Maybe, I don't know. Is it still Rodriguez?
I'm not sure.
That might be, you know, if he does it again and he actually like whatever gets people back together and stuff like that, that might be fun just to see what he does. It's one of those where I think it's like the Good Burger sequel. Even if it sucks, who cares? People just want to see, you know, people get back together for stuff like that.
Yeah. Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, I was thinking about what you said on why the Disney live action remakes keep making money, on how people's nostalgia and memories of the original are filling in the blanks of what Disney is taking away. I think it's a similar problem with most Christian media. Thankfully, The Chosen fixes all of that with an artistic vision.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I'm still so curious to see what Gibson's gonna do with the Passion 2.
Right.
God, it sounds like a joke, but they're actually doing the Resurrection. So yeah, I'm curious if he can actually pull off like a legit one. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Not just pain porn. Like
Yeah.
a legit Jesus movie.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. Which of these 3 jokes did the best job making their movies 1% better? The fart joke from Master of Disguise, the mirror punch from Pluto Nash, or no, I'm sorry, that was Brando from Jack and Jill.
The Brando one's pretty funny because it has to be Al Pacino doing that. Yeah, that one's pretty good.
Orlando Garcia, thank you for the 100 bits. At the risk of starting something, Mario Brothers Wonder or Sonic Superstars, which one are you guys picking? Mario Brothers Wonder in a heartbeat. I'm sorry.
I mean, I have to go with Mario only because I recognize what that is because that damn elephant picture is all over the place. So I guess that the other one, I didn't even know about the Sonic one. So yeah, I at least know what the Mario one is.
Oi Ram, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey Doug, that's perfect. It looks great. Oi Ram, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey Doug, what do you think about reviewing House with Clock in the Walls? I thought I tried to harken back to 80s styled kids movie, but kind of got silly at points.
Yeah, I never did see. I totally forgot that movie like even existed until you brought that up. Yeah, it looked kind of interesting, and then it just kind of vanished. So maybe I should check it. I forget if it was a Netflix movie or not, or if I gotta stream it somewhere else. But
I'm not sure.
I'll try to check it out.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 100 bits. What new commercials that came out this year and last year are you planning to put in the commercial special this year?
I gotta look them up. There's one PSA. I guess a lot of people have done this one, but I don't know. I still kind of want to do it. The one where the woman with her child thinks that like people are after her and stuff like that. All these men are looking at her and like kind of chasing her down. It's like, what the fuck's gonna happen? And then it turns out she kidnapped the kid, and they were all calling the police to get her arrested. That was like one of the most mind blowing. What the fuck PSAs I ever saw. It just completely blew my mind. So yeah, I feel like I got to do that one, even though I think a lot of people have done reactions to that.
I know, guys, thank you for the 100 bits. Will you review Dumb and Dumber When Harry Met Lloyd? Aside from a funny Bob Saget cameo, the film is horrendous.
That's what I heard. I've never seen it. I don't know if that would do well. I feel like the Three Stooges one didn't do that hot. So probably not, but maybe at one point I'll try to watch it just to punish myself.
DJ Lol5, thank you for the 100 bits. Did you see the teaser for The Boy and the Heron? I don't know about you, but I feel this will be Hayao Miyazaki's banger to finish off. I didn't see the teaser because I thought they weren't releasing much.
That's what I heard too. So when I saw it, I was like, oh, I thought everything was but
Yeah.
no, I did. Looks good. Looks like
I gotta check that
typical,
out.
good, awesome Miyazaki. Yeah, I'm very excited for it.
Mustard Man, thank you for the 100 bits. Come on, Doug. Do Blood and Honey for Nostalgia Ween. You know you want to.
I think that boat is sailed. Yeah, I tried the same thing with the Munsters when everybody was like, what the fuck with the Munsters, Rob Zombie movie and everything. And so I tried it, and I think I just missed, like sort of the big hype around it and everything. If you were just like, oh yeah, that was so last week, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So Blood and Honey, I think, is really, really kind of old news now. And I hear it's boring. Like that's the big thing about it. It's just really, really dull. So yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get much out of it.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, can we get a clue to next week's NC review, please?
Man, what would be a good clue to it? It stars a fox.
It stars a fox.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oyram, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, I was wondering, have you thought about doing a career dive on Ralph Bakshi? I mean, he did stuff with animation in America that most people wouldn't dare do back in the day.
I agree. The career dive videos sadly don't do well, like at all. I think one of our like lowest that ever came out was the Julie Taymor one. I don't even know if that one cracked like 100K. So yeah, a lot of people ask. A lot of people like them. They really enjoy them, but just the views aren't there. So yeah, I don't think I'm able to.
That's Disney Nerd. Thank you for the 100 bits. When are you guys gonna do the Guess the Film Score stream? The next Tournament Tuesday. I just had a lot going on this weekend and didn't have time to put together a whole quiz for everyone. So that's gonna be happening the next Tournament Tuesday because we did hit that goal and we do have a new goal to watch a horror movie on stream during October, and it is currently September. Wow, y'all are just letting me plug this. Great. It is currently !September is going to bring up some of the information, but basically you get 25% off a 1-month sub, 25% off a 3-month sub, or 30% off if you commit to a 6-month sub. It's the best deal that you're going to get a year in the year. So if you're thinking about subbing, that would be the time. Oiram, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, have you heard of Happy Tree Friends? If you haven't, don't let the name fool you. There it is.
Oh yeah, I got that's like I feel like that's early days of the internet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very early.
I don't know, and they were cool because like growing up, I always saw like those old Itchy and Scratchy cartoons on The Simpsons. I always thought, oh man, why doesn't that exist? Why isn't that a thing? And it's like, and it is with Happy Tree Friends. So yeah, no, those are very, very funny.
Orlando Garcia, thank you for the 100 bits. Suggestion for the next for the next commercial special, anything with Billy Mays. Billy Mays here.
You know, somehow I missed Billy Mays. Just that, and then the Flex Tape one is another one I just completely missed. So I did look up the Flex Tape one. I'll see if maybe I can do something with that. And then I guess I'll look up Billy Mays because somehow I just completely missed that guy.
Zircon, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey, Doug, that was a really sweet tribute to Paul Rubens. Anyway, with all the weird Nicolas Cage films that have come out in the past few years, such as Renfield, can we expect the return of Nicolas Cage month?
I don't know. I just released a video with all the Nicolas Cage reviews, so I guess that would. But I guess I did that with Jurassic Park also. I did the last one that came out after that. So I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there'll be more Nicolas Cage movies. I don't know if there'll be another month.
Oiram, thank you for the 100 bits. What do you think about the idea Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn? I know she dresses crazy, but I don't know if she can act Harley crazy. I don't know. Lady Gaga has better acting chops than people have given her credit for.
I was going to say, she's a good actress.
Yeah.
She's a very good actress.
She's great in American Horror Story, Star is Born.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know. I might have the opposite reaction. My thought was almost like, oh, isn't that a little too obvious to go with Lady Gaga? I almost thought she matched it too well. So yeah, I mean, my thought is more. I'm sure Heather talked about this too. Just the idea of doing a Joker sequel is kind of like, come on, it's such a perfect, just one alone movie. But I will say, if you're gonna do it, having Harley Quinn in there is, I feel like, the right route to go.
Right.
So I hope it's good. But yeah, no concerns about the acting around that. I feel like that's going to be a good choice.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. So you've brought up many times how you don't do certain videos anymore because they don't get the views. What numbers are considered bad on your videos?
I usually, definitely not cracking 100K. It is bad. Like I said, that's one where I was just like, oh, that's really rough. I don't know. I usually try to get, and even then some do pick up steam later. That's one of the reasons, I'm not constantly told, get the views all the time. I am allowed to experiment, try different stuff because some get views later. But usually I kind of say if one doesn't get somewhere within I don't know, 150 to 200K within the first week or so, I kind of see it as stay away from that kind of thing. But again, there have definitely been every once in a while, just be I don't know what's the most watched videos I've done. I'll just go type in popular and look at my videos and stuff, and I'll just see ones that's just that broke 1 million. What? When did that happen? I remember that one bombing when it came out. So it's not always an exact science.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, with you review non Disney games like God of War, Batman, and more to come, maybe a new NC segment could be making editorial slash completion style reviews for video games. They'll be very nostalgic and they can now be considered as great art that's worth giving attention to.
Maybe they are tricky to edit and review because I have to literally go through like tons of footage of me like
Yeah,
playing those games and stuff.
50
Uh,
hours of footage.
yeah, and then the other thing too is that even on the Disney Sembers, like sometimes they do well, sometimes they're So if it's something where it's like, dude, yeah, again, I mean, I hate to talk like it's all about the views and stuff, but it's like no, it is like a half and half. I like to do something I like to do on that. I like to do something that people want to see me do, kind of
hmm
thing. And with games, if it feels like the audience isn't there enough, I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that. But like with Disney Sembers, I still like doing the reviews for them. So even if I know it's not gonna do like gangbuster views, I'll still be, yeah, but I want to do this. I want to play this game. I want to talk about it and stuff. So yeah, probably not. Again, if anything, just a time issue. If it was very quick to do, I would just do it. But yeah, probably not. But it's not a bad idea.
At movies, thank you for the 100 bits. Can we get a clue for next week's NC?
It's about a fox.
I know, guys. Thank you for the 100 bits. Do you think you could review Clifford's really big movie, which stars John Ritter as the big red dog?
He did a movie? I didn't know that. I know he did a show. Again, probably not because I didn't grow up with the show, and I know a lot of people have now grown up with that
Yeah,
show. I grew up with the property. I read the books
me
certainly
too.
when I was a kid, but yeah, in terms of the growing up with the show, I'm sure that show has a special place in people's hearts, and it's like I should understand that before talking about it.
Yeah. Virtuous Sinner, thank you for the 100 bits. I'm going to ask a dumb question because I don't know. What's your favorite genre of movie, music, books, and games? I mean, that's a multi-part
Yeah.
question, so maybe just a couple.
I guess dark, weird comedies I kind of like for movies. Or was it movies?
Music, books, games. That's why I was like, that's a lot.
Mu- Books. I like autobiographies a lot. That's a big thing I like reading in books. Games, any kind of like just action game is great. Beat 'em ups, I really like. And then what was the other one?
Music.
Music. I guess just metal, But like I'm
Hell
pretty
yeah.
open on that. Yeah, just anything with a good beat.
That's Disney Nerd. Thank you for the 100 bits. What are you going to do when you retire the NC? Are you going to walk in slow mo, talking about how much of a blessing it is to do this, then slowly hang up your coat, hat, and tie, then slowly shut the door on your closet, symbolically showing that the NC is done?
Well, shit, we just rip up the script now. No, no, I don't know. Well, especially because the NC, I mean, God, from where it started to where it is now, I mean, it's just changed so
Yeah.
much. So it's one of those things where it's like when I started, I had an idea. Well, this is how I'm gonna like kill off the NC and stuff like that. But it changed so much, that I don't end up going that direction. So I think it just depends on what it's, gonna be by the time I finally do wrap it up. And just kind of address it when it comes to that.
I know, guys. Thank you for the 100 bits. Fun fact about Clifford's really big movie: the co-writer of that movie, Rhett Reese, wrote both the Deadpool movies and the Zombieland movies.
Oh, that's cool. Wow. Huh. Isn't that funny? There's so many things where like the guy who directed, like the Mad Max movies, also directed like the Babe movies. That's
hmm
spectacular to me. Although if
hmm
you've seen Babe Pig in the City, that's no surprise. That's surprisingly a dark, messed up movie. But yeah, no, that's really cool. I love stuff like that.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 100 bits. No joke, 2 days ago, I watched Dark Phoenix for the first time. Hear me out. There's some pretty good scenes. Maybe it's because I've seen Doctor Strange too, but seeing how lethal mutants can be is pretty cool. Dark Phoenix is still bad, but I applaud the movie pushing the boundaries.
I agree. There are things in that movie I really like. It's not good. I don't think it was quite as bad as everybody was saying it was, but the bad moments are pretty laughably bad. Just Jennifer Lawrence alone is really bad.
Oyram, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, thoughts on reviewing Happy Feet? Seems like one of those popular movies that has a backlash, but I think you're okay with the movie.
Also, the director of the Mad Max movies did
Really?
Happy Feet. Yeah, isn't that bizarre?
That is bizarre.
But again, it's funny because I didn't grow up with that movie or anything. I think I saw it years later, and I was like hypnotized by it because everyone thinks, oh, it's just the penguins dancing and tap dancing. It's fun and cute. And yeah, there's that, but then there's like these weird, large moments of like that are just hypnotic and strange and bizarre and feel otherworldly. And that's more of that guy's stuff. I feel like I don't know. Maybe I will. It's just kind of strange enough. I might check that out. Actually, I'll write that down. It's not a bad idea.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. Adam Sandler recently released his latest Netflix film. It's called You Are So Not Invited to My Bar Mitzvah and starred his daughters, Sunny and Sadie. I personally thought it was okay. Thoughts if you've seen it?
Yeah, that was about the same, but okay's pretty good for Adam Sandler. I was glad to see his daughters can act. They know comedy. They
Nice.
got the dramatic stuff down. I feel like you could very easily see this as like sort of was it nepotism? Is that what they say when
Yeah.
like yeah, it just putting too much of a spotlight on your family and stuff. But they got legit talent, and about half the jokes really worked, and the other half
Okay.
were kind of just like the awkward Adam Sandler, like "What are you doing?" stuff. But even when it didn't, there was enough charm with like the actors in particular that I thought really pulled it through. So I liked it. Yeah, I will say, I think it's at like something like 97% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's weird. Like, that's really high in a movie where you can point out a lot of things that don't work about. I can see people definitely not liking it too, but it's a good film. If anyone hasn't checked it out, it's a solid comedy.
Orlando Garcia, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, would you consider making a video on the horror film Skinamarink? Apparently, it's super polarizing. On one end, people say it's lousy. On the other end, people say it's genuinely terrifying. Sounds like quite the phenomenon.
I got I got to watch the rest of it. I did start it, and I knew what kind of film it was gonna be. But I started it when I was sick,
Oh
and I was in a
no.
brain fog and stuff like that. I'm
Yeah.
like, I just don't have it for this movie right now, so I turned it off. But I'll finish it at some point because, yeah, I am curious if I would get into it or not. That's one where my wife loves horror films, but that one I knew she wouldn't like, and I'm like, I'm telling you, you're not gonna like. No, come on, let's give it a chance. I like artsy stuff. I'm this is beyond artsy. This is like even experimental films would find this experimental. Oh, come on, let's try. We got like 2 minutes in. She's like, nope, I ain't doing this. And I was like, I told you. But yeah, I might be the same way. I might just give it a shot and just be like, nah, this is too much. But I should give it a chance because I do like experimental horror films.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, I forgot to mention this last week when I recommended Digimon. The episode length is nowhere near as daunting as Dragon Ball or One Piece. The first show that came out in 1999 is only about 50 episodes and is on Hulu. At least watch the first season and you'll know it's for you. For me, I just feel like a kid again watching it.
That's really cool. It's just I'm sure you're right. It's gonna take some time. Again, just this job does keep you very, very busy, especially when you're sick and trying to catch up on stuff. So, yeah, it might be another thing that maybe I'll check it out when I retire or something, or maybe if I get a little bit of time, I'll check it out earlier.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. In my opinion, The Empire Strikes Back is the most well made of the original films in the terms of pacing, structure, writing, but Return of the Jedi has the most entertainment value, i.e., the most individual scenes / sequences with rewatch value. Do you agree?
Um, there's a lot I really like in Return of the Jedi, and on a technical level, Return of the Jedi is probably the most impressive out of those three. Um, it does have some of my favorite scene with like the Emperor and everything. There is a lot of filler though. Yeah, so I don't know. I will say on a technical level, in terms of like the effects and stuff like that, I think it's superior over Empire. If that's kind of the point you were getting to.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. Top 3 Jane Lynch performances.
Oh gosh, she was so funny in Role Models. I think that was my introduction to her.
Okay.
I really like her in God brain fog. The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. She's
Oh,
wonderful in
yeah.
that.
She's so great in
Um,
that as Sophie Lennon.
yeah, so good.
Yes.
Yeah, aside of that, I guess I'm just coming back to the Wreck-It Ralph character. I guess I'll go
Okay.
with that because I'm just blanking on others. But yeah, definitely those other two I really, really like.
Zircon, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, would you ever consider reviewing the Crocodile Hunter movie? I'm part of the generation that grew up watching Steve Irwin. I looked up to him and he meant a lot to me, so I'd really like to know what he meant to you.
That's one of the reasons I don't want to review it because I do really, really love and respect his stuff. I mean, God, I was kind of the same way. I would watch all these interviews with him. I watch every show they do. I was heartbroken when I heard the news about him too, and everything is passing and everything. But I hear the movie's not that good,
Oh
and
no.
I don't want to make fun of Steve Irwin. I
Yeah.
don't have the heart to do that.
Mm-mm.
I will say this: maybe I'll try to check it out just on its own, just to see. Maybe I can watch and be like, oh, you know what? This is actually really charming. Like it's awkward in a fun way or something like that. But I don't know if that's going to be the case. I will at the very least try to watch it at some point.
I know it, guys. Thank you for the 100 bits. Did you manage to check out Elemental? I saw it. It was really lame.
No, not yet. I will for Disney December though. Definitely, I'll do that like Haunted Mansion and a couple of others that have come out.
PSNBD, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, have you ever seen or heard of the show Devs? It's written and directed by Alex Garland, same director as the film Annihilation. If you've ever seen either of those, what are your thoughts on them? It might just be DEVS. It's all capitalized.
Is it? Oh, yeah. We started this. And then somewhere it kind of lost us. We got maybe 3 or 4 episodes in. It was just a little too drawn out, a little too long. But yeah, maybe I should finish it. Yeah, because that was kind of a funky. I should watch that all the way through because I do remember just watching it, just like what is going on in this show.
Yeah.
But at some point it just went on a little too long. But yeah, maybe I'll pick it up again.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. One must go. Chicago-style pizza, Chicago-style hot dogs, or an Italian beef sandwich at Italian beef sandwich at Al's Italian Beef. Sorry, it says Italian bean, like B-E-N, and I was like, I think that means
Italian
beef.
sandwich. For me, it's not even hard. The hot dog.
Oh,
I like the hot dogs. I don't love.
I love Chicago hot dogs. I would get rid of the beef sandwich, but I also don't like beef. Hot take. I just don't like beef.
There you go.
So,
yeah. So we both have our
easy
hot
for me.
take, but it's all about the Chicago pizza, man. It's all about that.
Demon Arc, thank you for the raid. Welcome.
Thank you.
Orlando Garcia, thank you for the 100 bits. So this week I started taking a college course in music appreciation. Very fascinating stuff so far. Did you guys know that the musical staff was invented by a Benedictine monk named Guido of Arezzo? Arezzo?
Oh, I did not.
Great. Good facts. Thank you. Zircon, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the most recent season of It's Always Sunny?
Oh, I liked it. The early ones I thought didn't have much of a payoff at the end, so I was getting a little concerned. But I think the Chuck E. Cheese one were like nothing but gold. They were really, really good. So yeah, I don't know. Even when Sunny's not that great, it's still pretty good.
CM Sully, thank you for the 100 bits. One must go. McDonald's, Burger King, or Taco Bell?
McDonald's.
Me too. McDonald's, easy.
Yeah, I'll still say McDonald's.
I love the chicken nuggets at Burger King.
I love the chicken nuggets. Oh, see, I was gonna say actually, I do like the ones at McDonald's. I'm not at all saying they're good, but I do like them. But the breakfast is legit really good at McDonald's. That's the one thing I'm like, oh, it'd be hard to say goodbye to that, but yeah.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. Recently rewatched It 2017, and I would love to point out one thing you were wrong about in your review. There was more than one example showing the adults not caring about the kids. I'll explain in a separate bit messages.
In the 2017 one?
Yeah, It 2017.
See, I remember that more. That's so funny. I remember that more being a thing in the miniseries. Well, I mean, them not focusing on that. Where there's one guy that goes, oh, and walks away, and I was just like, what? That's the only thing you're using? See, that's funny. I thought I remember in the 2017 one there being a bit more, not a ton, but a bit more. Yeah,
they'll explain more.
Yeah.
Livster, thank you for the 100 bits. Any movies from the 2010s you would add to your top 20 favorite movies?
I'm sure I would. I can't remember movies that came out.
I know, right?
Back then. Yeah.
Back then. Doug, the 2010s feel like yesterday. It's only 2023.
Oh, yeah, Molly's Game came out around that time. I would add that in there. I forget on where the Wild Things Are came out, but I'd have that in there. There might be one or two others, but yeah, usually when I add like a new film to the list, it is exactly that, like a newer film. So there might be one or two on there.
Chad is saying 09. Maybe that's for Molly's Game.
Oh, is okay, so that
2009.
works. That works. Oh,
Alexander,
no, 2010s. That's right.
2010s.
Oh, okay.
2010s.
Oh shit. No, Molly's Game is that old? Oh, you're kidding. What? Oh my god. No, no. I got no. That's gonna
Oh,
Molly's Game.
Wild
That's
Things. Wild Things. Oh, it's where the Wild Things are is '09.
okay, okay. I was
Sorry,
just
sorry, my
looking at
bad.
Molly's Game. So
There's a
2017. I was
delay.
like, what?
Yeah. So I
okay.
thought I was overcompensating for the delay that you all were talking about Molly's Game, but okay, great. Wild
somebody
Things is
brought up
'09.
somebody brought up Inside Out. That might be on there. That might be on the list.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. Which do you prefer, Home Alone or Planes, Trains, and Automobiles?
Man, that's rough. That's really rough.
See, that's funny because I love Home Alone so much, but I would say Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
That's why it's so rough. It's like, man, I think it's Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Yeah, you know what does it? They both have the really nice ending, at the end there. But when Steve Martin's on the train and he's heading back home and he's thinking about Thanksgiving, he's thinking of seeing his family again, everything. It's just done those little images. It's like I've had rides like that, either getting a plane or a train or an automobile, and heading home and just thinking about seeing like my loved ones again. It's like that captured that so well. I think that's gotta be it for me.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. This is part 2 about It 2017. When the old woman at the start of the film sees Georgie on the road, she looks at him, then turns away. Then when she sees the blood on the road, she turns away and says or does nothing. Just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, it's funny. I thought I remember one or two moments, and definitely more than in the miniseries. Maybe I thought they could focus on it more. Maybe I don't know. Like I said, it's been 2017 since I've seen the movie, so I'd have to look back.
I know a guys, thank you for the 100 bits. Funny story, the guy who made Hair Love and another guy who is the co-writer of the Chip and Dale movie are following me on Twitter. That's awesome.
That's cool.
That's very cool. Kermit Wazowski, thank you for the 100 bits. Going back to Pee-wee and Always Sunny, during my binge watch of the latter, I found out the same actress, Lynn Marie Stewart, who played Miss Yvonne, plays Charlie's mom. Don't know how I didn't catch that at first, but of course now I can't unsee it.
Oh, I think I missed that too. Oh, okay. I gotta check that out again.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Favorite Robert Rodriguez movie?
Probably Sin City. Yeah, I just love the style of that movie and the stories and everything. The pacing is just, there's no other movie like it, really. Aside from the sequel, I guess. But yeah, no, I love that movie.
A Pagan Priest, thank you for the 200 bits. Appreciate that. Hey, Doug, huge fan. So recently we lost Arlene Sorkin, as I'm sure you know. Yeah. What is your favorite memory of the Batman the Animated Series Harley Quinn?
Man, there's really a lot.
I know, right?
I'm trying to think of I think the point where I knew this is a funny character. I want to see this character come back. And she's not even in the outfit. I think it's the first episode she's in. She's dressed as a cop. And one of the cops is hitting on her like, hey, you going to read me right rights? And she says, you got the right to remain silent. Hits him in the knee with the club and just goes, jerk. And walks off. And just the way she said, jerk, with her little smile was so funny. I said, I want to see this character. This character's funny. I want to see more of her.
Mm-hmm. Crushed Level, thank you for the 100 bits. What's your opinion of the show The Rookie? Thinking of checking it out?
I don't know if
I've never seen The Rookie.
Heard of The Rookie show. Let me see. Yeah, I've never even heard of the show.
I've heard of it, but never seen it.
I guess it's still on TV, starting 2018, still going. Maybe I should check it out.
I know, guys. Thank you for the 100 bits. When can we expect a review of Avatar, The Waste of Time?
Oh shit, I'm totally stealing that joke. I don't know. It is one of those where I've made so many jokes about it. I should probably let some time, be in between there. I don't know. Maybe sometime next year. It's not like there isn't stuff to talk about. There's plenty, but I've just made so many jokes about it. Kind of like I did with the first film. That's like I should let some air breathe there.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. An interesting alternative to commercials might be to look at some really insane / hilarious / disturbing billboard ads. I once saw one of a divorce lawyer that said, when roses aren't enough.
Probably. I feel like the internet's already doing that through memes. I think they usually show the funny billboards and stuff. One thing I was thinking about, I always have on the list. I never do it, but I really should. Is maybe doing a special dedicated to foreign commercials, because
Mm,
man, just the different styles and attitudes and cultures and stuff create some pretty fun advertisements. Like
yeah.
even if you don't know what they're saying, they're just fascinating to watch. So at some point, I might do that.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. It stars a fox. Could it be Fantastic Mr. Fox? Or based on everything you've said in the past, Catherine Zeta Jones?
Oh, you'll just have to wait and see. I'll never tell.
Honest reviewer, thank you for the 100 bits. Welp, a new Mortal Kombat trailer dropped announcing Megan Fox voicing one of the combatants. Now, before you start cringing, let me say that you weren't there when the last game had Ronda Rousey as Sonya Blade or some DJ do the voice of an unlockable Sub-Zero skin. Believe it or not, Megan Fox is a step up.
I mean, look, for voice acting, I mean, it's like, especially voice acting like a Mortal Kombat game. I know they add a lot of characters and stuff like that in there, a lot of backstory and stuff, but that's not something I'm like, oh, she's so bad she can't even do the voice. I'm sure she'd be fine.
Yeah, she'll be all right. FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on Aqua Teen Hunger Force and Squidbillies?
I never saw Squidbillies. I have seen Aqua Teen Hunger Force. I think it's very funny. Actually, that's one of the few Christmas specials I watch around Christmas time. The one where they accidentally like burn Santa alive and they have to
Yes.
give him like another skin. It's like just soccer ball skin. It's so weird, but I love it. I still has a line I quote. I always say, "I'm the Easter Bunny's twin brother, Daryl." I love that.
I know, guys, thank you for the 100 bits. Is next week's review one of these movies? Robin Hood, Zootopia, The Bad Guys, Arctic Dogs, Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Well, if you're gonna throw out that many options, yes.
Orlando Garcia, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you guys seen the trailer for Chicken Run Dawn of the Nugget? My only question for now is, why did it take so long for a follow-up?
Yeah, it is a little weird. I think the film did well, but it didn't do like fantastic. So maybe that's part of the reason they let like the nostalgia build for it. Yeah, I mean anything from that team, I'm gonna be pretty interested in. I say that, but I realize there's a lot of movies I've missed of theirs. I really need to catch up on. But yeah, I remember liking Chicken Run, and yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing the follow up.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. Can we ever expect an NC for either The Rescuers Down Under or Treasure Planet?
Uh, Probably Treasure Planet, because that's another one I wouldn't mind revisiting. Because I do remember that's one where kind of like the setting and the environment was really distracting for me, even when it was done well. I'm like, but this is just Treasure Island. Why didn't you just tell Treasure? This looks weird, just the ships in space, but they're not wearing spacesuits. I don't know. It was distracting to me, but I might like it more now. I feel like if I go back and rewatch it, maybe I'll get into it. But the skydiving too with the little ponytail and stuff. I don't know. Maybe I would love it now. I gotta check it out. And I do love Rescuers Down Under. I don't know if I'm like in a rush to review that.
Thank you for Hype Train number 2, chat! Thank
Whoop.
you!
Chugga.
Strider for Life, thank you for the 100 bits. Did you see the cutscenes for the secret episode of Kingdom Hearts Remind? If you didn't, I'll say those scenes will shock you.
Did I?
I can't remember. I saw this question. I was thinking, did we?
Like,
I
we sat
genuinely
down.
don't remember. We did go on YouTube and watch some of the scenes, and I
Yeah,
can't
was
remember
it-
what we did and didn't watch.
Was it Remind? Is that what we watched, or was it?
That was the DLC that you
That's the
did, and we
DLC.
may have watched those. I genuinely don't remember what we watched and didn't watch.
I'll try to look them up a little later too. Well, I guess did they just drop or?
No. It's the cutscenes for like the secret episode, the stuff that we were like, yeah, no, you're probably not gonna do that and do that and do that.
Let me just look at like pictures of them, see if it's shit. Did I? I'm looking at them now. It's like, wait, did I? I thought I did. I thought I did. But I could be wrong.
I genuinely don't remember.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't remember it, so you'll have to.
Cypher, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you gone up the John Hancock Tower in Chicago? Yeah, it's a nice view. It's a great view.
Yeah, there's a good. I haven't been there in a while, but back in the day, they had a really good bar up there. I don't know if they still
Mm.
do, but yeah, I remember they made some really good drinks. They were expensive, big shock, but they
Right.
were really good drinks.
Orlando Garcia, thank you for the 100 bits. So we managed to get Nick Cage in Dead by Daylight. Now, what's it going to take to get Christopher Walken in as well? We'll settle for a headless horseman walking.
Yeah.
Alien just came to Dead by Daylight though. So
Oh,
if
that's
you are
cool.
interested in more, I mean, I shouldn't say more movie crossovers. They have a ton of movie crossovers, but more, I guess, mainstream movie crossovers. Well, I don't know. I shouldn't say that because they have like Michael Myers and stuff too. But Aliens just came out, and that has been interesting to see.
I could see them doing. I kind of like that person's thought, the headless horseman, like holding Christopher Walken's head. Maybe he sometimes throws the head, and you just hear the ha because he didn't say anything in the movie, so you don't need to get him
Ooh.
doing that. Yeah, there's like cool movie, you know, again with like the sword and everything and chop it. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like the idea. I think there's something there.
Yeah. Talkative Carl, thank you for the 100 bits. Heather, I know you've seen this on social media, but now the video game industry is getting involved in the SAG strike. This was already serious, but now every aspect of acting is taking a hit, all because studio heads don't want to pay people fairly. Yeah, so right now what's going on with the voice acting, because I'm obviously keeping a big eye on what's going on with the voice acting video game aspect of this. There isn't officially a strike yet. What they did is they just voted. The board said that people can vote to strike when the contracts are up for renewal come September 25th. So right now, the board and SAG members who are eligible for that are all just voting. We won't know if there's officially a strike until September 26th. But we'll see. It doesn't sound like it's going to be avoidable. And yeah, they're not asking
Yeah,
for a lot because it's also motion capture artists. It's not just voice actors, it's also motion capture artists. And the one that got me is they're just one of the things that they're trying to get in their contracts is just to have a set medic on set if they're doing stunts for motion capture. What do you mean that's not already the norm? What do you mean?
there was yeah, no, because I saw that being talked about, like they were gonna do it. So at first I was like, oh, did it happen? Did they jump into it? So they're still looking into
Yes,
doing
they're
it. It hasn't
voting
happened
right
yet.
now, and it's possible that negotiations will be like some of their demands will be met by September 25th or whenever renegotiations start. But yeah, no, it's not official yet. They're just
Okay.
voting on it. Mhm. I know, guys. Thank you for the 100 bits. Did you check out the trailer for the Adam Sandler animated film Leo? It also stars Bill Burr as a turtle.
Yeah, that helped sell it to me. I'm not gonna lie.
Bill Burtle,
Burr's-
dare we say?
Bill Burtle. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah, his voice is so fucking funny. Yeah, a guy just makes me think of F is for Family again, just how funny it could be. Yeah, so if you just told me Adam Sandler's a turtle, okay, whatever. Bill Burr is a turtle, fuck yeah, I'm on board for that, you know, kind of thing. So yeah, and what I saw looked funny. It looked entertaining.
CM Sully, you made me laugh. You know what'd be weirdly hilarious? Hannibal Lecter in Dead by Daylight. He gets to eat whoever he catches.
Yeah, you know, I don't know. The more I'm thinking about it, it's a little weird some of these haven't made it there. Yeah, because
I mean, I'm sure it's likeness.
yeah, but it's like, yeah, how hasn't Hannibal Lecter gotten in there yet? Yeah, it's a good point.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the Andrew Garfield movie Under the Silver Lake?
I don't even know if I've heard of that one.
I'm not aware of it.
I will try to check it out. Let me just see if it's even bringing up anything in 2018. Yeah, boy, this just completely missed my radar. It looks cool. I'll try to check it out.
I know, guys, thank you for the 100 bits. Can you tell me if this is a good idea for a movie? Years after an alien invasion, humans and aliens have lived in peace together. But everything changes when a human and an alien fall in love with each other. It's not a prejudice story, just a story of a human and alien falling in love.
I mean, it all depends on how it's done, I guess.
Mhm.
I mean, offhand, just hearing that, I would think like one other little. It feels like it's missing one other element in there, like one other hook to it. But especially, it's like if you are having an alien, what about the aliens are different and unique? You know, why would it be weird that these two get together and stuff like that? So that would be the thing I would probably focus on adding to is just what is about the alien, the human getting together that would, in a world where they exist, where that would be weird. You know what I mean? Is the alien like this big and only has one eye or something like that? Like, man, how would that work? Like that immediately would make me say, what's that? How's that story go?
Orlando Garcia, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, what's your least favorite running gag in anything? Mine is Lucy pulling the football from Charlie Brown. All running gags I've ever seen always change one thing to keep the routine interesting and funny, but I never saw any variation with that stupid football gag. Just, ugh.
You know, I get that, but that's the exact reason I love it, because it's much more a play. It's not as much her as much as his optimism, his trust in his friend that this will be the time. This will be the time where she will actually be kind to him, and it never happens. It's very
Never.
pessimistic, and I love that. The one I never got into in Family Guy, when he hurts his knee, does the I never laughed at that. There's a lot of running jokes in there that I guess, like you could say, oh, you started loving it and then you didn't like it, or whatever. Maybe you learned to not like it over time. But yeah, that's one. Just from day one, I never liked that joke.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. NC review for Inside Out. Oh, not the Pixar film. I'm talking about the WWE film starring Triple H.
I have not seen that one. I also know wrestling comes down hard on like copyright claim.
Yeah, they do.
Stuff, so probably not. But on top of that, I'm not a huge wrestling guy, so if I was to talk about it, you would need someone that really knows their shit. You had to have like Walter talk about it or something.
Yeah. Lou says, boo, thank you for the 100 bits. So I checked out the movie Happiness out of morbid curiosity, and hearing you talk about it before on stream, out of all the disturbing movies I've seen so far, this manages to be the most disturbing, using nothing but words and implications. Thank you, Doug. I'm traumatized.
I fucking warned you, okay? I tell people, look, this movie's a phenomenal film, but I am never watching it again. It's one of the most disturbing things I've ever seen in my life. And I always tell people that. I'm like, look, watch it at your own risk. It's one of the most miserable things you will ever see.
Orlando Garcia, thank you for the 100 bits. One of my favorite things I saw on Twitter today, yes, I call it Twitter, not stupid X, good, was a fan art of Jerry, George, Elaine, and Kramer as done by Kosan Takeuchi, the art director for the WarioWare games. He's actually super cultured if you take a gander at some more of his art.
Oh, okay. I'll try to
That's
check it
cool.
out. That brings up a good point too. What are they don't call them tweets now. What do they call them? Oh, I got
Posts.
X.
Posts.
A post? Oh,
It's just a post and a repost instead of a tweet and a retweet.
I love it. Just when you think you can't hate Twitter more, Elon comes in and just like, I don't know. I'm kind of enjoying the dumpster fire. I'm kind of liking it just crumble.
I know.
I wasn't that big a fan to begin with.
My unpopular opinion that I've been very vocal about is that Twitter is still my favorite social media. I love it. I've met a whole bunch of people through it, and I've had a lot of great conversations and great opportunities through that app.
There have been some good, like I said, it's always, anyone can just immediately get me on it by saying, don't you have a framed tweet from Roger Ebert? Yep, nope, that's it. That kills my argument, So it's like, yeah, there's always some good things from it.
Crush Level, thank you for the 100 bits. The new commercials review will be here before you know it. Not a question, but remember that the Burger King Baby Got Back commercial exists?
I don't remember that one. I don't know how I forgot that one either. I will try to check it out.
Author, thank you for the 100 bits. I have a sad confession. Oh no. These past few months I fell into an awful downward spiral of stress spending. I've now only realized because of anxiety at work. My finances are majorly depleted from what they were, so it's looking like I won't be spending much money after these bits. Hoping I can make C2E2 next year, but not making any promises at this point. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh yeah.
That's all right. Please
yeah.
take care of yourself first,
Yeah, please definitely take care of yourself. Yeah. I mean, we'll just keep trying to entertain, do, what we do, man. Yeah, you just focus on yourself, man. Yeah, definitely.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. A while back, I recommended an NC for Streets of Fire. Did you watch it yet? If not, may I suggest a first viewing with Rob?
No, not yet. I will do my best.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. Road to El Dorado may be flawed, but it's one of the only films that made the get worse joke work. Tulio's reaction to Miguel when it starts raining before he even finishes his sentence got a decent laugh out of me.
Yeah, I saw that joke a lot before that movie, so it didn't do much for me. But again, I'm sure if that was my introduction to that joke, I would agree.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. One must go. Family Guy, American Dad, The Cleveland Show.
Cleveland Show. I will say this, I didn't get into American Dad, but everybody tells me it got a lot better.
That was my favorite of those three.
Oh no, and a lot of people say that, like, yeah, like compared now, it's like even better than Family Guy now. Now that's a high bar, I guess. But yeah, no, a lot of but people must be watching them. They're still on TV. There must be an audience there. So yeah, what the fuck do I know?
I know, guys. Thank you for the 100 bits. So, for my idea, the alien would be twice the size of the human. She would also be a mute anthro-Arctic fox. The reason why it would be a big deal is because, well, she's huge.
Sorry, that was just a combination I was not expecting. No, that's unique.
Yeah.
That's yeah, that definitely had that in the pitch. Because that would be like, oh, well, how's that gonna work?
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. Another great Jane Lynch role is her playing Steve Martin's stunt double in Only Murders in the Building. Absolutely. The casting alone is genius.
I don't think I got to that, but like I said, I haven't even finished or watched season 2.
Oh.
That's very funny though. That makes
She's
me want to
great.
check it out.
Yeah, she's great in that role, for sure, for sure. And just like last week, we've hit all the bit messages here.
Okay, all right.
All right.
Nice.
Sean49 Doctor says, speaking of Christopher Walken, ever considered doing a month dedicated to his work? Only seen a few of his films, including Batman Returns, The Deer Hunter, and only on certain occasions, Heaven's Gate. It isn't as bad as most say it is.
No, Heaven's Gate is an example of Brad Jones did a really good review of it as the cinema snob, and it's just a case of letting a director. There was a time when they would just give a director like just a blank check to do whatever they wanted, and that was a case of like nobody pulled back, and they should have, because that film could have been made for half that amount very easily. So yeah, that's why. But in terms of the Christopher Walken thing, I don't know what movies I would do, because I feel like I did a top 11 Christopher Walken like moments, I think.
Okay.
Where I kind of talk about all the stuff in there. Yeah, I don't know what movies I would talk about where it's just like, oh man, this is like peak crazy Walken, like through the majority of it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know.
Crush Level says, it's literally a parody of Baby Got Back, but the girls literally have square butts. This is the Burger King commercial. What's ironic is that it's a commercial for SpongeBob. Kids saw that shit.
I do remember that now. I'll write that down, especially working in, SpongeBob into that. That would be pretty funny. I'll look into that.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. What do you think of Boys in the Hood? It's been on my watch list for a while, but I haven't had the interest to check it out.
Oh my god, it's really fucking good. Yeah, that is a very, very, very good movie, and just interesting to see some actors just really, really like Cuba Gooding Jr. In there. I don't know. I always thought he was from like Jerry Maguire and stuff like that. And then when I put on that movie, I'm like, oh, he was from this. Oh my god, he was really goddamn good. Like, how did he not get the Oscar for that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, it is a very, very good movie.
Ramirez says, favorite character on Tiny Toons, and are you excited for the new show? Hope you're feeling better.
It goes in and out in terms of the health, so thank you so much. But again, it's only the fatigue. I don't want people to think I'm in like pain or anything. Probably Montana Max. Yeah, I like, after that maybe Plucky. I like the Scoundrels. They're always the funniest to me. I feel like I've taken a lot of like the NC screaming from Montana Max screaming, definitely. Yeah, the new show doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look like, I'm not excited for it either. You know what I mean? But I'm curious. I'll check it out. I have enough interest in like the show and the characters that I'll give it a watch.
Power Gamer says, which is worse, Halloween Ends or Jurassic World Dominion?
Man, I'll probably say Dominion. Halloween Ends, for as much as the experiment did not work, was at least experimenting.
Okay.
And I could see what it was trying to do. It just didn't do it very well. Yeah, I mean, but they're both not good, in my opinion.
Orlando Garcia, thank you for the 100 bits. Imagine if somebody made a how could this get any worse joke, but the punchline is that they instantly win the lottery or their dead parents come back to life or something ridiculous like that.
That's good. I like that. That'd be a new spin on that joke. Somebody must have done that.
I know,
that's way
right?
too good an idea. But I can't think of anyone that has. I don't know. Maybe you're the first one to do it.
Maybe. Blabble Block says, can we get an NC for Popeye and the Goonies?
It's funny. I like Goonies. I never got super into it. That's one of those weird 80s movies where it's like I saw it, I liked it, I never watched it again, and it grew like this huge following. And I see why. But it was never to a point where I feel like I could talk a lot about it.
Uh-huh.
But it is good. It's a good movie. Um, Popeye is another one where it's like, yeah, you kind of. Again, I did Disney December on it. I think that's about the most I can do. It is just so laid back that I don't
Okay.
really think I can get like a ton of jokes about it. But that's also part of its charm is that it's just so crazy laid back. So yeah, probably not. But I did do a Disney December on it years ago.
Cartoon Dictator says, have you watched Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur?
No, not yet.
I haven't
I
either.
I want to because again, I that style does look really really cool.
Right, and I've heard good things about
Yeah,
it.
it's one of those I have to remind myself it's a thing because I have heard
Mhm.
good things, but nobody's like you gotta watch it now,
Right,
kind of thing. And there's just so many like things to watch. You've seen just in the stream. Have you seen this? Have you watched that? Have you watched that?
right.
But I think I did have it on the list for Disney December though, so that might be. But again, because I stopped boxing for a bit, and that's where I usually watch my shows,
Right.
for like Disney December. I stopped boxing because it's like the energy I do have. I want that to get to work before I'm just suddenly, just put out of commission, get too tired. So,
Mhm.
probably when I get back to it, that'll probably be the show I go back to because, yeah, I do want to check it out. Anything else, just the art style looked really cool.
Alex loves musicals. Thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen the recent trailer for Loki season 2? It's coming out this October and looks fun.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
looks like a good time.
Mhm.
It is funny because when that season one was only last year, right?
I think so. I
I
don't
think it
even
was just
know. It was my favorite of the Disney Plus shows though.
yeah, me too. So it's interesting to think, man, was that only a year ago? Because I remember being so excited for it, and now being like, yeah, that looks good. That looks good. But it's like, man, where'd that excitement go?
Excitement,
I do
energy.
I do wonder if it's part of like the fatigue of sort of like the Marvel and Star Wars, because like
Yeah.
even Mandalorian season 3. Like season 2, I was like, "Oh my god, I can't wait for that!" And then the preview for season 3, I'm like, "Yeah, that looks good."
Yeah.
Like I don't know what it is. Maybe it is just the fatigue kind of hitting of all that stuff.
Mhm.
Which is again, it's not a bad thing because then you have to go look for other stuff. You have to be innovative again, everything. But I don't want something that's perfectly fine to fall by the wayside because of it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm hoping it's good.
Chad is saying it was 2021, so 2 years ago that we had
Oh,
Loki
Julie.
season 1.
Okay, that makes a little bit more sense though.
That
Okay,
does.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. In a weird way, that makes me feel better.
Matt Gamer says, "Hope you're feeling well, Doug. I heard your shingles came back." Yeah, poor Doug.
So
It's very much alive and well in Doug Walker.
it's yeah, so again, it didn't, I guess, go away. It's always kind of been there, but like the worst parts of it went away. The bumps, the rash, the pain, the nerve pain, especially all that is gone. It's only the fatigue. But apparently it's just a huge, huge part. Because like I said, when you look at the test, it's like, here's the normal part where you should be. Here's where you are in terms of like having this virus and stuff. So it's like, man, it's just all going to the fatigue, I guess, which again, I should be crazy thankful because like the nerve pain and everything was rough to get through. But yeah, just having the fatigue, it's annoying, but it's not painful.
Yeah, for sure. Orlando Garcia, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, what do you think about Bender from Futurama? Do you think he's funny or do you think he's a pain in his shiny metal ass?
Oh, he's funny.
Hilarious. One of the best
Yeah.
characters in the show.
Yeah, it's weird because I think like when the show first started, I'm like, well, the only character I like is Bender. Everyone else, is pretty bad. But as the show went on, got to season 2, season 3, and stuff like that. Not only did the characters get better, but like I kind of like Zoidberg a little bit more now.
Why not Zoidberg?
Or Dr. Farnsworth, I'm liking more now and stuff. Like all these characters that used to not even be on the radar suddenly like surpassed that. What was my favorite character when the show started.
Yeah. Master Mario says, "So did you ever listen to Dan Fogelberg like I suggested? Also, I have a disgusting question. For $1 million, would you look up a fat old man's ass? And for another million, would you put your hand up said ass?"
Now when you say look up, I mean it's not putting your face in there, right? It's just looking. Because I'll give a look. That ain't. That ain't nothing. I mean, okay, it's something. It's not nothing, but you know, it's for $1 million, I'll do that. For an additional million, no, I'll take the million and leave.
Great.
And I did listen to a little bit of Dan Fogelberg. I mean, not a ton, but a little bit. Yeah, I liked it.
Spooky Elephant says, I've got the ultimate question for y'all. Why did the chicken cross the road?
There's a hold on. I think I've done this joke, but okay, there's actually more to this than I'm letting on.
Okay, great.
Okay, Heather.
Yeah.
I want you to wait, I'm gonna start this joke again. Okay, you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. Why the chicken cross the road?
Why, Doug? Why did the chicken cross the road?
To get to the stupid, dumb, idiotic moron across the street. Knock knock.
Who is there?
The chicken.
Oh, God damn it, Doug! Are you calling me a moron?
No, but that's what I love. You can personalize that to whatever you want. I always just make up something. If it's someone like I really like, I'm gonna give it to this person. I'll make the insults even more specific.
Amazing.
You know, but it's like, do you know? But you say they get to the asshole's house. Knock knock. Who's there? The chicken. And it's so stupid, but I love it. I love doing that dumbass joke.
My 4-year-old nephew right now is really into telling the joke, why did the chicken cross the road? Except it's beautiful because right now one of his favorite shows is Muppet Babies. So all of his jokes, he will answer differently every time, but it always ends with a cute little waka waka waka. And it's the best. The best.
That's pretty great.
He answers it different every time, but it's just, you gotta stay for the waka waka waka.
Does he leave like a long pause? Do you like he'll say the punchline and then just go waka waka?
Yes.
That's pretty funny.
It's great. Issa Buck says, hello, Heather and Doug. What are your expectations, hopes, wants, etc. for the upcoming new Netflix Avatar: The Last Airbender series?
I don't know, because honestly, I don't think it's a good idea. We're talking about the live action series, right? That's what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the pictures. They look totally fine. Some people said they look cosplay. I kind of agree, but I think after Last Airbender, I'm sure they're leaning hard into that. They want to look just like the cartoon.
Right.
But show's fine. I don't get the point in redoing it. Like what are you gonna add? What are you gonna change up? Now I could be wrong. Maybe they have some real good ideas and they're gonna like really put a spin on some things that they do with the characters and the story and the way it's told and everything. But I don't. That show is just so good. I don't get what the advantage is going to be doing it in live action. So, yeah, offhand, I'm not seeing anything too exciting, but I'm also not totally dismissing it either. It could bring something new to it. I don't know, but
it could.
Yeah,
like, the casting looks really good. The casting, like in theory, the cast looks really good and interesting. But when you look at the fact that the creator of the series separated with the Netflix live action series over creative differences, what the heck did they do?
Yeah, and it's like
what are we in for?
They were working with them. Yeah, it's not like, oh, they're just a creative consultant. Like, they were working with them.
Yes.
But that's also, I don't know. It's like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not optimistic, but I hope I'm wrong. You know, I want the show to be good.
For sure. Honest reviewer, thank you for the 100 bits. So I watched Disenchantment's finale and One Piece last week. The finale was good, but not great. About on the same level as the show as a whole. One Piece, on the other hand, I'm really into the energy it has. And this is from someone who never got into the anime during the height of its popularity.
Cool. Yeah, that's my thoughts on Disenchantment as well. I was like, yeah, that's good. The kind of whole show is good. I always wanted to get to great, and it never got there. But it's like, I'll take good. There's enough, enough creative stuff in there. There's one thing in there, two things that really stood out about this last season. One, without giving anything away, there's a character that gets killed off, I think, in the second to last episode. Technically, two characters get killed off, but it's one you can see coming. The other, I was like, well, how the fuck are they going to get around this? Because it's like the one character that if you kill off this character in any mythology, you're like, well, where do you go from here? So that was
Okay.
interesting. But then the other is that at the end of the last season, that there's like two of the main character, and the hero chops off the head of the bad main character, and for like half this season, this character, the bad character, is just walking around without a head, and it's like,
What?
okay, I've seen that a million times. What headless characters, what? But she is on screen for so long that it legit started to creep me out. I'm just like, that's only so long I can look at this thing just walking around. It doesn't talk or anything.
Oh,
It just
really?
goes around like this and awkwardly like trying to feel around. And it's just half the season is doing this. I'm like, I don't know. I'm legit getting creeped out just watching this damn thing, muddle around, not knowing where to go. So yeah, that was the first. That was the first time where I've seen like, because again, we've seen horror stories and stuff where characters get their heads cut off. And this is the first one where I'm like, I'm actually getting more freaked out the more I look at this thing.
Yeah. FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. My review of the second Avatar movie. It was the wettest from the standpoint of water.
Well, you can't argue with that.
You sure can't. FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. What do you consider to be the perfect film trilogy?
Man, but I mean, I don't know if like perfect exists, but I mean, what's the closest to perfect? Almost just for the purity of it, and almost for the fact that they clearly didn't have any ideas, so they just kept doing the same thing over and over. Maybe Back to the Future. At first I didn't like that they just kept doing the same thing over and over, but now there's kind of a charm to it, in the same way like I've gotten used to like Kingdom Hearts tropes, Sora, Donald, Goofy. Now I'm looking forward to how is he going to fall in the manure? How is, gonna get out of, this situation? What's Biff gonna look like in this world? So I guess in that sense, it might be kind of the best of it because it's just the purest of what it is.
Yeah. Orlando Garcia, thank you for the 100 bits. So how does it feel to live in a world where Charles Martinet no longer voices Mario or Luigi or Wario or Waluigi?
I mean, it sucks, but I lived in that world before, so
Right.
it's not like a huge thing to me. He's a very sweet guy. There was I think before he really blew up, because when I saw him, it was maybe like 15 years ago, something like that. He was at a con. He's a very sweet guy. And, he had a crowd, but nothing like now, because I don't think he voiced people's childhood. He wasn't the voice of Mario. He was a voice of Mario. You know what I mean? So now he's like really, really gigantic to a point where people are talking about, that he's no longer gonna do it. And it's always nice when you see it happen to a guy that's like, he just seemed like a sweet dude. He seemed like it never seemed like the fame went to his head, or anything. He's just a really, really sweet guy. So yeah, no, that's always really nice to see. And it's fun to see that evolution happen. It happened very naturally. He just kept doing the voice over and over to where we all now associate with that voice. But for me personally, when I see Mario, the cartoon Mario drawn out, what does he sound like? I still kind of think of the old cartoon show. I think of the Brooklyn accent. I kind of think of the Bob Hoskins voice, honestly.
Okay.
Kind of that voice going. But that's what I was raised on. So I'm always going to associate that voice with him. But, clearly that is everybody's Mario voice now, though, and he's a legit good talent too. So sorry, I'm rambling. It's the brain fog.
That's okay. That's okay. And for the new game, it doesn't sound like they're really getting someone who's gonna do a deviation. Like I would not have believed you if you told me that Mario Wonder has someone else doing Mario.
Yeah, that was so. I thought he was gonna retire later, and then when they announced that, it's like, no, he already retired. That's not him in the game. That legit really surprised me.
Yeah.
And I think that was a good move too, because if they didn't do that, everyone would be like, well, let's hear this new Mario. Oh, he sounds just like the other. Like it was good that they waited until they announced that game.
Yeah, for sure. Zomb55, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey, Doug, don't know whether it's too soon for an NC episode or not, but have you seen The Menu? Feels like that'd be one you'd enjoy, and in turn, if you get round to reviewing it, one we'd enjoy your reaction of.
Maybe. That I wasn't thinking about it, but there is a lot to say about that movie. I might write that down. It's not a bad idea.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. No spoilers, obviously, but I really hope you avoid all spoilers for Ahsoka Episode 4 online. Every Star Wars fan is talking about it right now.
Oh, okay. I'll watch it as soon as I can then.
Yeah. FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the movie Inkheart?
I don't remember it being bad, but I don't remember it being good either. Yeah, nothing especially stood out about it, but I don't remember like hating it, either. Yeah, it just kind of exists.
NK Man, thank you for the 100 bits. Hello, Doug. Not sure if this was asked earlier in chat, but will you be checking out the One Piece Netflix adaptation? If so, can we expect a Doug reviews on it?
Maybe I could do like a little vlog on that because it might be interesting. The point of view of that from someone who has not seen the anime. I might. We'll see.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. Dark Toons idea, Disney's Education for Death. It is by far the darkest thing the company has ever produced.
I don't think I've ever heard of that.
I don't think I've heard of that before.
Education
Disney's
for
Education for Death.
I'm like usually all over that stuff. Oh, it's the Nazi one. I've seen this where it's showing what happens if the Nazis take over. And so, I didn't know that's what it was called. Okay. I've seen that. Look, I would love to talk about like that and the one where Donald's a Nazi and stuff because that's some messed up shit. I mean, clearly propaganda, but I think we could argue good propaganda. But YouTube would never let us run that. I think if you even say the H word, on YouTube, they just, make it so nobody sees it. So yeah, sadly no, but both of those are very good, and rightfully so disturbing, cartoons. So yeah, no, they are very good.
Oliver Dreamwalker says, Doug, don't you think YouTube or something like it is a threat to Hollywood now? Absolutely. I mean, YouTube has already shaken up how media is viewed and is profitable even for studios and for people in general. When TikTok shook up social media and video production in a way that no one saw coming,
I'll say this. I see streaming, like Disney Plus and Netflix more as a threat. Because you do have stuff on YouTube that has big productions behind it, like Mr. Beast and stuff like that. But what people seem to like about YouTube, and a lot of people go to, are just the people at home, like what we're doing, this kind of stuff. And that seems to be what's popular, what people seem to like. That's the sort of uniqueness of YouTube. So in that respect, I think people still like going to movies when it's a movie worth going to and want to share it with a crowd and stuff like that. Like Oppenheimer, people wanted to go see those back to back and stuff like that. It was an event. That was a crowd thing. So where with YouTube, I guess you technically can do that, but not quite. Where I feel like streaming something from home, a movie from home, that I can see a little bit more as a threat. But I think YouTube and Hollywood films are just different enough. But that, like you said, doesn't mean it's not a threat.
Right.
Either. I just see something like movie streaming at home as more as a threat.
I know a guy says, I binged the original Tiny Toons in honor of the reboot coming out. I'm sorry, I hated Dizzy. He kind of felt like Big Fat Baby from Hysteria or The Dog and baby segments from Animaniacs.
Well, Maurice LaMarche is heartbroken, my friend. That is so funny when you find out, like, Maurice LaMarche, the man with this, incredible, eloquent voice, can do all these different, she's Dizzy Devil, ha ha ha, which is just so funny to think. But there's more annoying characters I can think of in that show. He didn't bother me that much.
Dino Man says they have the top 5 Malcolms. 5, Deadshot Malcolm. 4, Tuffy the Tiger. 3, The Devil. 2, Benny. And of course, number 1, Bill.
Oh, nice. I was afraid he didn't have Chart Guy on there.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, I love Chart Guy.
Yeah. Elite Gamer says, hello, Heather and Doug. Hope you both are doing well. Great job with the past 2 videos. So I was wondering something when it comes to Ahsoka so far. Who is your favorite character so far? Also, where would you rank it amongst the other Star Wars shows? Thanks again for all the amazing laughs. You guys never cease to bring a smile to my face. Oh, and am I forgetting? Oh, I remember. Feel better, bitch! Poof. Punching Doug.
Well, that won't help. So again, I haven't seen the latest one, so keep that in mind. But I like the villains, the 2 baddies, the 2 Siths. But aside from that, I do like Ahsoka. I like Dawson's portrayal of her. I like that she's much more inward. I like that a lot more. The acting has gotten through just those little stares, those little turns. It just doesn't have to say much. And I think a real sign of that is that again, I haven't seen the latest one. In my opinion, the writing is very generic. It's very okay. It's very stuff we've seen before, but I feel like kind of the directing, the atmosphere, and the acting adds a lot of weight to it. Like there's so many
Okay.
of those scenes I've seen. Like okay, when without going into too much, when Sabine has the mask down, the blast shield
Hmm.
down, and she's doing the fight. How many times have we seen that scene? And
Yeah.
it shows that all the time. But those two and the way they played it out and the music and the camera work and stuff, I paid attention. I was into it. And I know their history and stuff like that. So it made me more interested in it, even though I've seen that scene a million times.
Yeah.
And I do think a lot of that is the acting. So yeah, so I do like the villains the most right now. I have not seen the latest episode, but Ahsoka would be probably under them.
That Disney nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. This is not a joke. We are getting a Mary Had a Little Lamb horror film because Blood and Honey was so amazing. Eye roll.
I'm imagining the numbers on that are not going to be as good as Blood and Honey.
No, but here's the thing. We all talked about Blood and Honey. Blood and Honey got them a lot of attention. So that company is just going to keep making these weird horror films because it brings a lot of attention to them.
Okay, and here's the ultimate proof of that. Brad Jones has been, again, the CinemaSnob, has been reviewing their films, that company's films, for a long time. They've been doing this long before they have a Humpty Dumpty slasher movie. They've been doing this long before the Blood and Honey thing. So even if you're like, haha, it's because of Blood and Honey, they were probably going to do it anyway, whether
Yeah.
it was a hit or a flop.
Metazozan, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, I'm curious, what do you think of how the live action One Piece has done seemingly the impossible and put out a show that relatively pleased fans and non-fans alike? After the colossal failure of stuff like Dragon Ball Evolution, I'm just amazed to see anyone pull off a live action adaptation of an anime, right? Curious your thoughts on that in general.
Well, again, going into it having not seen One Piece, but I know what it looks like. I know the style of it and stuff, and I haven't seen the new one either. I will say, just hearing that, it's impressive because the anime, it looks like a show that could only be done through animation. Like that
Yeah.
style is so distinct and so in its own weird fantasy world. And so much looks like, well, you'd have to draw that. How would you do that in 3 dimensions?
Yeah.
That's fascinating that so many people are enjoying it, that like the anime and then newcomers as well. So I'm more and more curious to check it out. I did say I'm gonna wait to see if people recommend it, and a lot of people are. So yeah, I'll definitely check it out.
Orlando Garcia, thank you for the 100 bits. What do you guys think about the unfortunate news regarding Steve Harwell, frontman for Smash Mouth? And what do you guys think about the band in general? I feel like they were a popular band to meme on after All Star, but like they're fine. And obviously, it's super unfortunate about Steve.
Yeah, I agree. I'll be honest, I didn't get into the band that much, probably because it was overplayed. If I had to tell the truth, if I just heard that song on its own, I'd probably be, oh, that's fine. That's just a little thing to dance to. But the overplay did kind of kill it for me. But no, that doesn't mean I went, well, and the singer belongs dead. It's like, no, that's terrible. And at such
Yeah.
a young age, as well. So no, I was really shocked to read that. I was like, what? Like, how old was he? It was something like 56 or something like that. Like crazy young. So yeah, no, that's definitely a real shame to hear. At the same time, it clearly brought a lot of joy to a lot of people. I mean, that
Yeah.
song was a crazy hit.
Yeah.
So I guess there's that to be feel fortunate about.
KP Kruk, thank you for the 100 bits. Would you review the 2016 film The Young Messiah? It's a film loosely based on the apocryphal infancy gospel of Thomas and a 2005 novel that tries to look into the lost childhood years of Jesus. It was a box office flop, and there are a bunch of heresies in it.
It's funny because there's not much info on it, I have always found that subject interesting. Like, well, what was going on in those missing years and stuff that's like not in the Bible and stuff like that. I don't know if I'd review it. Again, I don't know how many people would click it, and I'm definitely not a scholar, so I wouldn't say, well, this connects to that and this makes sense or doesn't. But I don't know. I might check it out.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. I know I've asked you this question before, Doug, but are there any other films that were saved for you by one really great performance? You've already said Tim Curry from It and Robert Downey Jr. from Iron Man sequels.
Uh, to some extent, I don't want to say this is a bad movie, but what elevates it to like, okay, this is legit, like interesting to watch. Maybe um, There Will Be Blood. I thought his performance was like really was the movie. And not to say the rest of the movie is bad, but if you didn't have that, it wouldn't have worked. I'm sure there's other ones, but a lot of guys' films actually, I feel like, are dependent on the main actor. I feel like, which is not to say there isn't talent behind you have to direct the actor and stuff like that. But I feel like a lot of his movies really ride on just having a really good main lead. He makes them so much about the one person, what's going on in their head.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. Are you looking forward to The Creator? It is by the guy who made Godzilla 2014 and Rogue One, so I'm in.
Yeah, it's weird. The trailer looked a little interesting. The more I see, kind of the less interested I get, because I feel like I've seen movies like this, but that is a good director, and he does really make you feel like you're in those worlds. So I'm curious. I'll probably check it out.
KP Kruk, thank you for the 100 bits. What is your favorite Tim Curry guilty pleasure performance? For me, it was his role as a Russian terrorist in Mikhail's Navy, starring Tom Arnold.
Man, favorite guilty. I mean, I don't know. Can I say Pennywise? I mean, he's just. I don't think that miniseries is very good, but he's just a blast in it. Yeah, he's a lot of fun in that.
Honest Reviewer, thank you for the 100 bits. Regarding the One Piece and why it's probably doing so well, is how most of these anime adaptations sadly take themselves way too seriously, while One Piece seems to embrace the silliness that comes from the original.
I don't know, man. Have you seen that Cowboy Bebop series? That definitely was pretty goofy and did not know how to do it. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess I can't comment on it again because I haven't seen it yet, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm hearing really good things about it.
Spooky Elephant says, since so many superheroes and villains are based on animals, what animal would Super Doug be based on? Maybe a bald eagle?
What's the first half of that? I'm sorry.
Superheroes and villains are based on animals. What animal would Super Doug be based on?
Man, I don't know. Maybe a bald vulture. I could see kind of that with the bald head. I don't know. That's the best I can think of right now. Man, I'm just thinking of the vulture from Spider-Man. I'm wearing a green shirt.
Maybe. Virtuous Sinner says, which director is someone who you are always excited for their next movie? For me, it's Gore Verbinski. I just love his style.
Spike Jonze. He doesn't make that many, but when he does, they're always fascinating. And there's some I always keep an eye on, like Tim Burton. I'm not gonna act like I love all his movies, but I always want to keep an eye on. Julie Taymor is another one I always want to see what she's up to. Well, and now, I mean, like, because all her stuff's always been interesting. I'm brain fog. Director Barbie, Greta Gerwig. Yeah, I mean, now it's like, especially after Barbie, it's like, okay, what is she gonna do now? Because the art stuff has been, very dialogue heavy, and it's been great. But now you have this just visual marvel in that, Barbie world, that a literal Barbie world. That I'm curious, like, well, look at now with the budget, what else is she gonna do now? Because she also hasn't done a ton yet. So I'm curious to see what else she ventures into.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, that brings us to 8 o'clock. So that brings us to the end here. Thank you all so much, as usual, for joining us here today. We super duper appreciate it. Oh, we got one more last minute bit message that just came in. KP Kruk, thank you for the 100 bits. Speaking of vultures, I remember from your Animaniacs review, the creative team you interviewed were working on some animated improv show with vultures. Did that ever come to pass?
Not that I know of, sadly.
Yeah. All right, we do have content here. Oh, Zom, thank you for the 100 bits. We are trying to wrap things up here. Have you heard of, or better yet, seen the 2023 movie Nefarious? It's essentially a cinematic screw tape letters starring Sean Flannery.
No, I'll try to check it out, though.
All right, great. We do have content here 5 days a week, so please come on back and hang out with us. We'll be here on Thursday, Friday. I'm not going to be here on Friday, so enjoy Tamra with Doug. And yes, and Doug, I guess. The real reason you will all be here is Doug. But speaking of Tamra, we are going to, if my thing will work, There we go. We are going to go over and raid her right now and say hello to Tamra. So go say hello and put some emotes of Chaplin in the chat. We will see you all later. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. And yeah, we'll see you. Bye.
Goodbye. Thank you.